By the end of this video, I'll show you how to transcribe any audio or video files for free. So you don't have to pay for Otter AI or any other provider for any audio video files. Let's say you have a Zoom meeting that you want to transcribe and you no longer have to pay anyone or give that personal data to anybody. It could be all on device. And for example, I'll show you in Claude Code how you might download a video. And it could be any language, Spanish, Vietnamese, and set up the tool so Claude can actually transcribe it and then translate it and then create a notes like this so that you can always reference in the future for your second brain. Really easy to do and all free. Free and private. Nothing leaves your device. So the way we're going to do the transcription on a Mac is we're going to use the voice to text app that we installed previously. And I'll show you how we're going to use that with Claude Code to also summarize any kind of transcripts that you have from any audio. But if you watch this video here, you can see how you set that up, how to use it. But there's a specific feature that we didn't talk about in the last video. And here you'll see that this is the menu bar app. And if you go to settings, you'll be able to go into open settings and there is this tab called integrate. And if you install the miniwhisper CLI integration, you'll see that this is now installed. You'll now be able to use this as a tool in the terminal as well as with Claude Code. And so you just now allowed Claude Code to use miniwhisper. So let's just whisper CLI. And so now you'll see this, but we're gonna set up Claude Code. And we're gonna ask Claude Code, hey Claude Code, can you run miniwhisper CLI and see how to install the skill? And in the same way that I showed in previous videos, we set this up using our shortcut Option W to then talk into the microphone, and then the transcription happens immediately, as you'll see here. And then in the previous video, I also talked about how skills are important for Claude Code to know how to use the tool and the CLI. And so now that we've had that Claude Code installing the skill, let's say yes, Claude Code would install. And what we're gonna do here first, as we're gonna basically try to run this in parallel, we're gonna do Command. So we're gonna do that split screen. Let's do another Command Shift D to do another split screen. And then on this side too, we're gonna do the same exact thing. And let's exit out of this Claude Code session so we can start a new one. And so I'll start up a few Claude Code sessions so that we can basically run all of these in parallel. So we'll have 5 different Claude Code sessions going up. And now that we've installed miniwhisper CLI, I can now tell, let's say one of them to, can you use miniwhisper CLI to transcribe this video here? And then I'm gonna go into Chrome. I have a few videos already queued up. You can go on YouTube. Let's say you search for something. The first one I'm gonna go through an example of is, let's say there's this Vietnamese video I have, and I actually want maybe a translation of it. But in order to get a translation that's good enough, we could use Claude Code to do that. So I'll just drop in this link. And then in the previous video, we also showed you how to set up the tool so that Claude Code can download these YouTube videos more easily. And for a lot of YouTube videos these days, you can already get the transcripts directly from the YouTube video. So let's go back into that. So we'll let Claude Code do that. But if we go down here, a lot of videos already have transcripts. And here, you'll see that the transcripts is in video and we want to get in English. And so you could theoretically get Claude Code to just download the transcript and translate that directly, but just for the purpose of this video and this demo and how you might do this manually, because then you can do this for any audio file. Let's say you had a Zoom meeting and you wanted to transcribe the video, you can use this tool now to do that transcript. And I'll show you what that looks like, but we can also use a Twitch video. So let's do this here. Transcribe this video. And then we'll go back into Chrome. So here is another one. This is just Internet Archive. You can pretty much look up any video or audio in Internet Archives and then also do the same thing. Let's ask Claude to do this step by step this time. Let's do Option W. Claude, can you download this MP3 into this folder. So you can do this in a few different ways. And the first one right here, because it is a Vietnamese video, it will need to use Whisper, which is multilingual. And so in the same way we have it in this app here, you can select the fast default one, or you can select the multilingual one, which will have up to, I think, 99 or maybe 100 plus words. And we just selected some options that Claude gave us. And whenever we're doing a transcription, for most use cases where it's just English or one of the more common 20 European languages, we can just use the fast default one and it'll be able to get the transcription really fast. And for this second video and this third video we have here, it will be pretty fast in the same way that we basically do the transcription here. So I'm going to do this here again. Hey Claude, can you transcribe this audio file? And then I'm going to go back into this other one. This is an NPR podcast. And so a lot of NPR podcasts, as well as any YouTube videos, will already have a transcript or subtitles. And oftentimes they already have pretty much the same backend that automates this. But for some videos that you don't have that, you can basically just give them the link. Give Claude Code the link, and Claude Code will be able to download it and transcribe it. So we'll go back in here, this link, and then we're going to paste this link into here. So now you'll see that Claude is basically doing the transcription. But here, so we've downloaded this video here. Let's say you have a multi-file audio file. You can also ask Claude, hey Claude, can you combine all of these audio files into one audio file? So that when you do the transcription, you can actually either combine it first and have one transcription altogether, or you can transcribe each one individually. When we installed the previous YouTube DLP, we also installed FFmpeg, and that will allow Claude to, as you see here, combine it into one. And then now, hey Claude, can you now transcribe this audio file? And then obviously you'll see that it didn't transcribe it perfectly, but that's okay. Sometimes Claude will already know how to infer some of the incorrect transcriptions that might happen. And so here you'll see this one's already finished because it's just an English transcription. So it's using Parakeet. It's going to be much faster. And then let's ask it to document this. Before you document this, can you summarize what this audio file was about? So you'll see here that this podcast actually wasn't downloaded from our YouTube DLP, but Claude will find a way to download it. And so it actually found the source of the video, and then it was able to use that to actually download the video to then do the transcript. And then we'll now have Claude do that. And then so we'll go back over here. So this one is still being transcribed. This one looks like it just finished, and this is the Twitch one. It's 60 minutes. And now we also have this, and so we can actually ask Claude to document this. Can you store this in a folder for me so I can find this in there, and then wire up the links to the related notes as well? Okay, then we're good here. So then you can see, hey Claude, can you now translate this to English and then summarize to me what this video was about? So as you see here, it took about 7 minutes to transcribe a multilingual file. So it's going to be a little bit longer if you have a multilingual video or audio, but Claude will still be able to do it for you, and then they'll be able to translate it for you as well. So that's just a cool functionality that you can just do both in one. And now anytime you have a voice memo that you like to just record as your day goes on, and then you can just airdrop it into your Mac and have Claude transcribe all of them really easily, and then store it in your Obsidian second brain. And then, so now we'll go back to this one right here, this podcast. It tells me what this podcast is about. And then I'll tell it, can you create a notes for each of these categories and sections at the root of the directory so I can see. And so then I'll tell them that. And then we'll go back to this one right here, and you'll see now Claude has translated, and it's not always a perfect translation, but it's usually good enough. And it's just basically summarizing what kind of food they're eating. And then let's ask it, hey Claude, can you create a new food folder and put this note in the food folder for me to review? And then now you can see how we're integrating a lot of the previous videos that we have installed and set up a way to create notes for you. We've set up how to do voice to text transcription so that we can easily now just tell Claude to do things on our behalf. We set up Obsidian, we set up terminal in Obsidian, but in most cases, you'll just tell Claude to write these files in it. And so you'll see here in the notes section, Claude has created a summary here. Now you can review. And then I'll have this Claude section over here that I can talk to it. Hey Claude, can you read the AWS Bedrock agent core? And can you explain to me how the building block section works from the notes that we have? And then we'll go back into the terminal side over here. So you can set it up on the side or the main window so that you can kind of just create new notes and documentation from different videos. And then here, because I created a food folder now, I can look for it. They create it under resources. So let's go in resources, go in food, and then now we'll see this new doc. And now you can just reference at any point in time, or you can choose what you want to save and document for the future. So you don't have to remember it, but you don't have to store everything. And so you can talk to Claude, figure out if it's worth saving or not. And then basically this is now your second brain. And now you'll have the summary here, which we just showed using the multilingual model. It's going to be longer, but you'll be able to not only translate the different languages with Claude Code, but you can also get the transcripts for any video and a much wider range of different languages. Right here, we had a Spanish, and because of Spanish is one of the 25 languages that's covered under the Parakeet model, which is one of the faster models. And for about the 2-hour audio, it was able to transcribe it, create a summary of it. And finally, here, we had an NPR podcast that we also downloaded, not through the YTDLP tool that we set up in a previous, but Claude will still be able to figure out how to download it. And the YTDLP, even though in the last video that we showed you how to convert a YouTube video into a note, we only showed YouTube. There's a wide range of other sites that I can do. As you can see here, we did Twitch right here. We did Internet Archives. It's also able to download full videos, MP3 files from TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Some of them require being logged in, and you can have Claude Code set that up so that you can do that. And with that, you can see the full pipeline of how we went to any of these different sites, got the video or audio file, had Claude Code use the tool that we set up that's already a part of the voice to text app that we've set up previously, do the transcription, whether that be English, Spanish, Vietnamese in this case, and then you translate the Vietnamese afterwards, all in Obsidian where you store all the notes so you can actually look at them side by side. But you can now see this full end-to-end process. Just to kind of close this out, if you go in the settings, I'll show you again one more time. Go to integrations, you can install it, you can uninstall it, or you can see where that lives inside your Mac. So I hope that's helpful. Drop some questions into the YouTube comments, and I'm happy to answer anything.